Coming up next on KAGS News at 6, it's one of the busiest travel days of the season. We show you what it's like for holiday travelers on the ground and in the skies. Stay with us for KAGS News at 6.
This is home. This is KAGS News at 6.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Vanessa Croy. Jay O'Brien has the night off. Well, as we move into the holiday weekend, we're going to first check in with our chief meteorologist, Bob French, to see what kind of weather we have in store for us. Bob?
Well, Vanessa, we've been hopping today because things are really changing in the weather department and in our weather. I mean, we've got a strong cold front moving through the Brazos Valley. Look at that sharp temperature change going from the yellows, which are readings in the 70s, to the blues, which are readings in the 30s. About a 50 to 60 degree temperature range across the state right now. And a good bit of rain. It's mainly light rain here in the Brazos Valley, but if you're traveling, roadways are slick all over southeast Texas at the present time, and on up toward the Metroplex into Arkansas and Oklahoma, there are wet roadways, and in parts of Oklahoma and the Panhandle, we've got some ice and snow. Winter weather advisories in effect up in the Oklahoma. And airport delays, fortunately, right now, everything is looking good except for Atlanta, where some possible delays are going on with some rain in the area there. Otherwise, the other major airports are looking pretty good, and this is the way the national weather is looking over the next 48 hours. We're expecting the front, which is through our area, to push onto the east. That'll spread rain toward the east coast, so there will be some inclement weather in that direction. Also snow over the central Rockies and portions of New England coming up on Christmas Eve as the systems continue to migrate toward the east. Now, our forecast for the Brazos Valley, light rain this evening and much colder, but we're looking for a cool and dry Christmas holiday weekend. It is looking like a lovely weekend coming up, but just how cold is it going to get? We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, if you are traveling over the holidays, like Bob just told us, airlines are reminding passengers to pack some extra patience as they prepare for a record number of travelers. Now, according to Airlines for America, 51 million passengers are expected to fly to their Christmas and New Year's Eve destinations. Airlines project the busiest travel days to be today, December 22nd and the 26th.
The people in front of us and around us, they're like, what's going on? Nobody wanted to leave because the line was so long. Nobody wanted to leave. We just kept on proceeding going.
Now, that was happening at Dallas Love Field. It wasn't a drill or a false alarm. It was actually an air conditioning unit that was on fire. Now, look at the crowds there. You can see Dallas fire crews controlled the situation in about 20 minutes, and all of those passengers, about 350 people, had to be reprocessed through security. And as thousands of Texans take to the roads this weekend, it probably wouldn't hurt any of us to have a refresher course on the rules of the road, including the one about driving in the left lane. Well, Jason Puckett has more.
It started on an internet thread, sort of a PSA about this, driving in the left lane. You know, we all know how annoying it is to be stuck behind a slowpoke in traffic, but did you know that sitting in the left lane is actually illegal? Snooze alert, wall of text incoming. Texas Transportation Code Title 7 about vehicles and traffic isn't an exciting read, but its text has real-world meaning for you on Texas roads. If the colorful Reddit comments are anything to go by, slow drivers in the left lane are the real Christmas Grinches. Don't they know that you move to the right when you're going slow? Well, going back to our friend, Transportation Code Title 7, you learn that what they're doing
It's a Class C misdemeanor. It's punishable up to $500 fine.
That's right. APD Detective Patrick Oborski can confirm using the left lane correctly.
It is a state law.
Now, according to these laws, there are 4 times you can use the left lane. 1, for passing. 2, if something's in the road. 3, if there are 3 or more marked lanes. And 4, if the traffic is restricted.
People don't realize that if you're in that left-hand lane, you're a traffic hazard. And making people make, sharp turns to go around you and get back in the left lane, that's dangerous.
Now, Detective Oborski admits they don't often pull people over for this. Since 2014, APD has issued 274 tickets to the tune of $169 each. But should it get bad enough,
there's a long line of vehicles behind it and they're not able to pass because the vehicle's not moving over to the right, then yeah, that's something we would take into consideration.
Now, it's technically legal to honk if someone's not moving over, a move Oborski says maybe hold off on.
I would say yes, that's what the law says, but I would probably not go to that far. I mean, road rage is probably more of a concern to me than driving someone in the left lane.
All right, that was Jason Puckett reporting. Well, the Brazos County Health Department is reporting a dramatic increase in flu cases this season. Over 370 cases have been reported in Brazos County this month alone, with 269 of those cases reported just last week. Now, the health department officials remind everyone to get their flu shot to prevent spreading the flu. And plus, if you get sick, stay home and call your doctor. And officials stress the importance of washing your hands and covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. And tonight we're wrapping up our KAGS Holiday Lights Hunt, where we show off your holiday lights in the Brazos Valley. We wanted to end this year with the story of Dennis Fleming. His yard isn't the flashiest and it isn't the most high-tech, but we feel he exemplifies the Christmas spirit most of all. Here's Jay O'Brien.
And my kids say, Daddy, you just, it looks like a man with too much time on his hand.
It's not always easy to recapture that Christmas spirit.
I see Santa Claus.
To re-examine things that widened our eyes as kids.
I think my fondest memories, particularly as a child growing up, were at Christmas time.
But that is what Dennis Fleming does every day.
When I tell people where I live, they say, oh, you're the man with the skiing Santa Claus.
A great-grandfather.
I'm 71. Sure.
He presides over a pretty great lights display in Bryant.
Most of what I have is old school, the old string of lights. A lot of these items we bought in garage sales.
Clean, orderly, and very, very bright. His is one of the few lights displays in this older community.
A real hassle when you get old. It's a lot of work.
But much like the Christmas spirit, Dennis and his family press on.
And I hope I can continue to do it. I hope I can do it for a long time.
All right, that's a great story, Jay. We want to send a big thanks out to everyone who contacted us, sent us pictures of their homes or their neighbors' homes, and let us show off their holiday lights. The pleasure was all ours, and we hope to bring that tradition back next year. KAGS News at 6 will introduce you to a couple created a Christmas tradition after their son's death and how it's helping thousands of those who spent the holidays away from their home.
Welcome back, everybody, and taking a live look on the KAGS weather cam. Now that the sun has set, you can see that the wet pavements are kind of glistening around the Brazos Valley, a little bit slippery out there. Drive extra carefully. We've had the light rain across the Brazos Valley this afternoon, along with that cold front pushing through. And of course, we had the rain starting this morning, but we've only had about 1/10 of an inch. It's been very light and just kind of a soaking rain at that. Well, the pollen count still showing only low levels of mold at the present time. Of course, brought to you by Texas Commercial Waste. And so that's good news for allergy sufferers as we head into the holiday weekend. Bad news for travelers this evening is that we've got pretty slippery travel conditions around the state, especially over the eastern half of Texas with rain, and over the Panhandle and portions of Oklahoma where winter weather advisories are in effect for a mix of wintry precipitation over Oklahoma changing over to all snow over portions of the Texas Panhandle. There's even a little bit of thunder up here and some of the heavier rain moving into Arkansas, but nothing in the way of severe weather, fortunately. Closer into home, here's the light rain pushing to the east of the Brazos Valley right now, but even though nothing's showing on radar, there's still a little bit of mist out there, so it's going to keep the roads a little bit on the damp side around the Brazos Valley for the next few hours. So again, if you're out and about driving around town or heading out of town for the holidays, make sure that you're a little extra careful, making sure you don't have to brake too rapidly and all those safety rules driving. Look at the temperature gradient, the difference across the Brazos Valley. It's 40 degrees now in Cameron, 45 in Bryan College Station, 46 in Navasota, where the cold front is just hitting 74 in Conroe. And wind chill index values have dropped into the lower 30s over northwestern portions of the Brazos Valley. Out ahead of the front, winds are southwest in the Conroe area, but we've got those northwest winds up to 15 to 18 miles per hour over the Brazos Valley, which is helping to put that chill in the air right now. Well, an upper level low approaching from the west, helping to bring moisture over the cold front and producing the rain from the Brazos Valley up into Oklahoma and Arkansas, and near the center of the upper trough, of course, where the air is colder, we're getting the mix of snow and some freezing precipitation. The cold front should continue to push on southeast and offshore in the Gulf of Mexico, leaving us with clear skies for your Saturday. And it looks like a beautiful day, but it will be on the cool side in the morning and even tomorrow afternoon with highs in the 50s. For Sunday, Christmas Eve, looking like a beautiful day. A reinforcing front will move in and keep things cool and dry through Christmas Day. So for tomorrow, mostly sunny, 37 at 8 o'clock, 50 at noon, 54 at 5 o'clock. Looking for high temperatures in the mid upper 50s through Christmas Day, with lows dropping into the 30s. And then coming up next week, we've got a chance of rain returning to the area as another trough and front approach. Temperatures will stay on the cool side with lows in the 40s and highs in the 50s. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And now, Jumping World presents Military Greetings.
This is PFC Rude from 548 CSSB HHC from Round Rock, Texas, stationed here in Camp Deir in Kuwait for Operation Spartan Shield. I wanted to say happy holidays to my family, mostly my grandma and my mom.
Hi, I'm Senior Airman Enriquez, currently deployed in Incirlik Air Force Base, Turkey. Just giving a shout out to my friends and family back home, San Antonio, Texas.
See more military greetings online at KAGSTV.com.
The record books will get updated on Saturday at AT&T Stadium. College Station High School would not only play for the first state championship in school history, just 4 years into its existence as a football program. When the Cougars battle Aledo, they will become the first Bryan College Station program in 25 years to play for a UIL championship. Now, A&M Consolidated was the last BCS team to play for a title in 1992 when the Tigers lost to Waxahachie a year after beating Carthage for the state championship in 1991. I was about 8 months old then. The Tigers also played for and lost the championship in 1989. Bryan High won it all way back in 1921. We all remember how that one turned out. The Cougars' ascension has been quick. It's taken just 4 seasons for College Station to get to the point where it has a chance to win a championship. But with how tough of an opponent Aledo is, with 8 state titles in their trophy case, they haven't had a chance to reflect on the best season in school history just yet.
Thought about it a couple of times, and actually I think I kind of chuckled the other day. I've been driving down the street just thinking about, you know, where we were at and thinking about 15 weeks ago where we were at and thinking about things like that, but really not thought much about it. You kind of get in that game mode of prep and getting ready for the next week, and so and playing a team like Aledo, you don't have a lot of time to think about it, so you just go ahead and go back to work, and I'm sure once Christmas breaks here and we're done, then we'll go back and enjoy where these kids are at.
College Station and Aledo kickoff at 11 a.m. Saturday morning. Jerry's rolled in the 5A Division II state title game as the Cougars try to bring that first state title back to BCS in over a quarter century. At 10 tonight, Matt Trent will be live in Arlington with one final report on the Cougars before tomorrow's game. Well, of course, Thursday night in the 3A Division I championship, Rockdale finished off one of the most incredible state title runs in recent memory, winning for the 12th time in 13 games to beat Brock 45-29 for its first state title in 41 years. Now, after trailing 21-0 early in the second quarter, the Tigers rattled off 45 unanswered points, thanks in large part to offensive and defensive MVPs Torrey Lachlan and Jaqueline Crawford. The duo combined for over 600 yards of offense to lead the Tigers to a much-deserved championship, and they'll keep that victory V lit.
I know that there's sometimes, man, you have to sit there as a coach and you go win with people that aren't of the character that these kids are. They're just unbelievable men. They're going to be so successful in whatever they do. I mean, they're going to go 4 different directions here pretty soon. You know, I know there's a lot of kiddos out there that deserve a state championship. I know that. But I promise you there's not a group that deserve it more than the group that won it tonight.
State title comes, again, 41 years after they last won it all in 1976. Those 12 out of 13 down the stretch, all of those wins came by at least 10 points. They just blew everyone out in the postseason as well, winning by an average margin of 16 points in the playoffs. That's it for sports. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Well, welcome back. A North Texas couple collects thousands of stuffed animals each year, a Christmas tradition that touched countless lives. Now they hope their efforts will make others aware of a mission close to their hearts. Sebastian Robertson tells us why.
Who's this one?
Stuffed animals.
Rangers.
Thousands of them are part of the Zapatakis holiday tradition.
20 weeks to carry a baby you know is not going to survive is a long time.
A tradition honoring a son that they knew for just moments. Back in 2014, Whitney Zapataki and her husband Adam faced a seemingly impossible decision. At just 20 weeks pregnant, they learned their son would be born with Potter syndrome, an incredibly rare and fatal condition.
If I carry him to term, when I get to heaven, is he going to say, "Mom, why did you let me suffer?"
But rather than terminate the pregnancy, they made the decision to carry the child to term so his organs could be donated.
You know, it's our way to share our boy.
Here's their only family picture together. Rather than flowers, they asked friends and family for stuffed animals. They didn't realize it, but they'd started a tradition in their late son's memory.
It has exploded beyond what we ever imagined.
In 2014, they donated 250 stuffed animals to a children's hospital.
So obviously at that point, we knew that there was no stopping, there was no turning back.
Today, under the name Tyler's Toys, their house is filled with more than 3,200 stuffed animals. They're donating to children in need and raising awareness for neonatal organ donation.
And we think more than now, Tyler's story is really being shared, just as far as kind of that legacy of giving all you have to give and making the best for someone else out of your bad situation.
And just days away from Christmas, Whitney has one more surprise to unveil. She's pregnant, just a few months along.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
All right, we're taking a look at the live radar right now, showing light rain across the Brazos Valley and other parts of southeast Texas. What is falling around the Bryan College Station area is not showing on radar, but there is still just a little bit of mist out there. Roadways are not in bad shape, but they're still a little bit damp around the Brazos Valley. Where it's worse is over Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas, where we've got a mix of wintry precipitation, wintry mix of sleet and freezing rain and snow, especially in Oklahoma, changing over to all snow out around Amarillo and Lubbock, several inches possible overnight tonight in that part of the Lone Star State. No white Christmas for us here in the Brazos Valley, though. Now let's take a look. The rain extends from Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas eastward to Georgia. A little bit earlier in the newscast, there was some delay showing at the Hartfield Airport in Atlanta, but now everything looks okay there. So all the major airports in the U.S. are looking all right at this time. Now, our forecast is looking great for the holiday weekend, even though travel conditions around Texas this evening are not that great. If you're waiting until tomorrow to head to grandma's house or grandchildren's house, then it's looking pretty good. A cool, dry weekend coming up. Lots of sunshine, not only tomorrow and Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day as well. It'll be cool, but not as cold as we had earlier thought. Perhaps still near freezing on Christmas morning. Otherwise, lows will just be in the mid to upper 30s with highs in the 50s this weekend. So it'll feel seasonable. It'll feel very good. And I'm thinking I'm pretty happy about that.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, finally, you have to check this out. Now, this is a gift to a teacher. Okay, you can see the child on there. Our child might be the reason you drink. That was her gift for Christmas. Now, being a teacher myself, that is hilarious. That is my favorite gift I've ever seen to a teacher. They thought they would give that teacher that because their son was the reason that she drank. So I love that.
Hey, at least they know and they can be honest with themselves.
I know, that's so funny. But the funniest part is having that child's face all over those wine bottles in our house every night. So it reminds her.
If it was apple wine, but that,
that's even better.
Even better.
All right, thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. Have a great evening.